unspeakably ghastly. But that's just me. To the Democratic Representative Jason Altmire, who's going to be leaving Congress, one of those good-thinking sort of blue dog Democrats. Hear a lot about them. And here we stand on this stuff, Congressman, these automatic cuts that kick in, and now it looks like they're trying to change the rules so they don't kick in. I can understand that, but wouldn't that be more damaging if you break the very spending rules that you all agreed to?
It's more damaging if you end up with the dollar amount in spending reductions that's less than what was agreed upon. Sequestration was always a fallback. It was always what would happen if Congress failed to act. I did hear one of my colleagues on your show earlier today from the other side of the aisle somehow try to portray sequestration as a Democratic issue. The reason sequestration is about to go into effect if we don't change is because the Congress failed to act, failed to work together, along with the President. Everybody involved failed. Now we're facing these automatic cuts. That's what happened. And you can't
change the rules. And I'm not saying this left or right, blue or green, Republican or Democrat. If you acknowledge, not you, Congressman, but if you acknowledge ahead of the fact, look, we might not be able to strike an accord, an agreement, so we're going to have this fallback plan of cuts just in case we lose our backbone, which is exactly what happened. And now you've got these automatic cuts facing you, and you're afraid you're losing your backbone all again. And my beef against the Speaker was that for him to claim otherwise is distorting the truth. And if you really are talking about fiscal resolve, you're not showing it. But I think if they change that, unless they agree to an accord of as big, if not bigger, cuts, it makes a mockery of the whole process, and it's the Speaker's fingerprints all over it.
You can't have a process where you agree to cuts, whether it be as a fallback position or not, and then later and withdraw that agreement and say we're not going to go through with it.
I think it makes you a phony. I think it makes you a phony. I think it makes the Speaker a phony. I think it makes the Democratic leadership a phony. I think it makes a canard of this entire process that you say you're very serious about this, because I was there last summer when this accord was agreed to, and I sweat my little hiney off there because you guys don't believe in air conditioning, which is fine. It's saving us money. But what happened is we thought there was this backstop in case someone lost their backbone. Now, what's a taxpayer to think that you can just remove the backstop?
Well, I do think it's worthwhile to look at a better way to do it and to put in place a mechanism where you achieve the same savings, you bring down the deficit and the debt by the same amount, but you do it in a more sensible way. That's fine. But to just walk away from the agreement and say we're not going to follow through with our end of the bargain, that's ridiculous.
So what do you think happens now? I always worry that all these big issues, these budget issues, these tax rates, they're backing up like planes at LaGuardia, all at the same time, all at the end of the year. What do you think happens as you leave that place? What do you think is going to happen?
This is going to be the mother of all lame duck sessions. We have so many expiring provisions that are at the end of the year that have been postponed to after the election. Of course, a lot of it's going to be determined by who wins the White House in November, by who controls the Congress, both the House and the Senate. All of that is up in the air right now. So the dynamic of that lame duck is going to change based upon who wins in the elections. But the issues that are facing the country that have been postponed to the end of the year are just enormous.
All right, Congressman, thank you very, very much. And again, for you folks back at home, I don't mean to get